Welcome, students, to Intro to Sound Writing. This is for those of you that chose not to do the percussion assignments and wanted to do the songwriting assignments. So the first one is to watch this how-to video to get you started. So the first thing you do, you go on your Google Chrome or whichever one you're using, but Google seems to be the best. Type in soundation.com, soundation.com. All right, and that'll take us to the first page. Now, first things first. You can join for free. Okay, this is not something you have to pay for, but there are some advantages to having a membership to this that does cost a little bit of money, but I am not recommending any students to do that. So we're just going to join for free. Okay, and as you can see, it shows you the options. You can do 10 solo projects a month. You can do a collaborative live project, which means you can make one with another person. Now, there's more than 700 loops and samples on here that you can use. Virtual instruments, and export audio in low quality MP3. So that means you can make your songs into an MP3, okay? And the only things you're not going to get unless you are paying for one of the other memberships is you can kind of read up on that. I don't really need to go through it, but you're not really going to need it. So we're going for free. Hold on a second. Oh, I think it's probably, okay. It's probably recognizing who is doing it. So naturally, it's going to just bring me to my account. So I'm going to back out of here, but you are going to hit the free option. Okay. Yeah, it's already got me logged in. That's what the problem is. Sorry about that. So once you've hit free, it's going to say sign in with Google or Facebook. Do not sign in with Facebook. I think that's a bad idea. That's just me personally. Especially since you're doing this for a class. I want you to sign in with your Gmail, and I'm going to recommend you use your student email in order to sign in. Or yeah, because that's what the option is going to show you. Once you've done that, it'll take you to this screen. Okay? Now, once you're on this screen, if you look up here in your left-hand corner, it says Studio. Now, go ahead and click on Studio. As you can see, it's loading into the actual Soundation Studio. Alrighty, now there's going to be some things you notice to your left. They're called audio channels. Audio channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to want those. There are some other audio inputs that you can put in there, but we'll discover that as we continue once you've done your first project and you kind of get your feet wet as far as how this program works. So we're going to go to our right. To our right, it says Sound Library. This is where you look for any kind of instrument that you want. Okay? Whether it be drums, guitar, piano, voice, bass, and with like a lot of hip hop and techno style kind of songs, pop songs, they have a lot of inputs or loops that you can use to start creating your piece with. Let me make sure that my sound, yep, my sound is at 100%. So let's go ahead and just type in drums and see what it pulls up for us. All right, so right there, it brings up a very large list of drums that you can use. Okay. We'll just go ahead and hit that. Hitting blank project opens up the screen for you. As you can see now, it's completely empty. All right, so we typed in drums. So let's look for a drum sound that we like. So let's just try the first one. Okay, not bad. Let's try another one. We'll go to hip hop top drums. Okay, if you like that one, you can use that one. Let's look at another one just to see some of the different sounds they have. Okay, that one's pretty weird, but that's okay. Let me look at this one here. Okay, that one was called NPS1 Beat. Now, if you like that one, you can use it. So we'll go ahead and use this one since I actually kind of like that loop. Let's go ahead and you're going to hold down on it and you're going to drag it over to your first audio channel. See where I'm holding it? And then I'm going to drop it in. Right there is your drum beat that you were looking for. Now it's in your actual document. So if I hit play, it's going to play it. So I don't know if you can see up here. All right. Where I have the play button is at the top. Okay. We're going to hit that. Now, obviously that was pretty cool. Now you can do that with any single one of these you want to. Now, generally this should be over here, so we're going to move that up to number 1. Now you're probably wondering, well, that's pretty short though. Well, it kind of is. So what are we going to do? We can stretch it, okay? How do you stretch it? We do the same thing. We go back, click and drag, and we put it right next to it, almost right on top of it, and there it is. Now let's see what happens when we hit it. Now, if you notice, when it went to the end, it just kept on going. Okay, and we'll hit the stop button. There we go. Awesome stuff, right? All right, now let's try to get another instrument in here. We have another audio channel, so let's type in bass. Who doesn't like bass? We're looking for something kind of cool. Let's try and see what this one sounds like. Okay, well, that's all we got from that. Not very impressive. Let's try the next one. Well, that's kind of fun. All right. So this one is called TFP Bass 100, and it says Tiffany EM. You can just kind of see that there. And we're going to click down on it, and we're going to drag it over to our Audio 2 channel and set it down. So now we have our second audio channel set up to actually make this part of our working project. So now let's see what happens when I hit play. Well, obviously, we're probably going to want that to repeat, right? So if you remember what I told you, come back to the same loop. Now, you might not like this one. I think it's pretty fun, but you don't have to use it. And we're just going to put that right next to it, which means it's going to continue. Now, what else can we do here? You can actually stretch the document to fit. So you see how over here the bass line doesn't fit completely underneath the drums. Well, you can actually click down and drag it. Let's see here. See if I can. All right, I guess you can't really stretch it there. So it's going to leave a little bit of a gap. So some of these are preset that way. You can't really manipulate it, but I will show you some tricks. Let me go ahead and press play and see what happens. So, when you're listening to your projects, you might think, well, maybe I don't necessarily like that drum track because our bass line sounded a lot cooler when it was slower, right? So, let's go back to drums and see if we can't find ourselves a beat that's a bit slower that might work with the bass that we chose. That's too slow, right? Now, these are like the different parts of the drums. So we're going to kind of move down a little bit and see if we can find ourselves something that's a little bit cooler. That's obviously a little too aggressive. Again, that's still a little too aggressive. Little too fast, right? Now that sounds like a good sound that we want. So all you got to do is come over here, click on this, and you can actually delete out what we had there originally. Let me show you how that's done. You right-click on it if you don't like it, and hit delete, and boom, it's gone. So now we're going to replace that beat with the new one. Oh, look at that. There's our downtown beat. And it almost looks like we're going to have to add in a little bit more bass to fit it. Okay, so I need to find this one. There we go. So I found it. And I'm just going to slide that in right next to it to make it a little bit longer. All right, now we're going to come up to hit play and hit it. All right, so as you can see, that beat works a lot better with that one, right? Okay, so let's add one more thing on top of that. Let's go crazy a little bit and see if we can find a voice to go with it. So I've typed in voice into our sound bank, and we're going to see if there's kind of something that we think might go well with it. There's one thing called electronica. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna work. That one was actually quite crazy. That's more of a beat. Let's check out one of these ones.
Sprechen, gesprochen, gestolpert, spoken.
Yep, we're not going to use that one because it's in German and we really have no need for it. Okay, so if you just type in voice, you don't get a whole lot. So we're going to go ahead and change our minds on that. You can find multiple voices, I think, if I can actually type correctly. Voices. Nope, looks like the same one. There are some vocal things in here, but you just kind of have to mess around and look for what you might be wanting to put into your little piece. So just to finish this example off, I hit guitar. Not quite what I'm looking for. Nope, that's not going to work either. No, that's not really going to work either. Well, that's kind of interesting. So we're going to go ahead, click down on it, right? And we're going to move it over to our third channel and see what it sounds like at the beginning. We'll hit play. Okay, well that's definitely not going to work. So we're going to right click on that, go up to delete, there it goes. That was not very good. So you can kind of get to see a little bit how this works. We might not even want guitar with this example. We could put in keyboards and maybe get some interesting sounds off of that. There's a lot of different sounds. And we're definitely not looking for that. We're not looking for reggae. Oh, look, they actually have some for soca. All right, well, anyways, to go ahead and close this one out, this is to show you the basic functions. We're not going to get into actual song style or how to make a full song just yet. I want you to go through these three functions, which is the sound search. I want you to choose a couple sounds that you can kind of mess around with and see if they will fit. I always recommend grabbing a drum rhythm track first, because once you start putting the rest of the samples in, it will put it at the right speed. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can actually manipulate it. Sometimes it'll actually manipulate it for you once you drop your track in. So when you're done, if you look up here, there is a save button, which is up here. There we go. If you hit save there, you can title it, and it will automatically save it for you. Okay? So make sure you save your work, and you can always come back with it. So have fun with this. Just try some basic stuff, and then we'll talk about actual composition and how to put these songs together. So go ahead, have fun with that, and I will see you the next time we have class.